good morning, beautiful people. Let's get ready to get this show on the road. Talking about how to handle criticism today, man. 7 things you need to know about criticism, man. Don't let a critic throw you off your game, man. Do not let a critic throw you off your game. Go ahead and share the stream for me if you haven't already. I'm going to do the same. Good morning, good morning. You guys know how to do it, man. Go ahead and say good morning, shout out your brand. You never know who's watching that might want to partner with and or learn from you. Oh crap, nope, that's not what I'm trying to do. Let me change this over to this guy. Yep, shout out your brand, man. If you're not building a brand, just say what's up. But if you're in America in 2017 and you're not building a brand, question is, why not? America is business, man. You should have a business in America. What's going on, Tawana? Good morning. All right, there we go. There we go. And we're going to get this thing cracking, man. I'm making a commitment to getting the show started on time and ending on time. Going back to my original format of the show so that we can keep the show flowing. Double A in the building. I see you, Double A. All right. Double impact. I like that. All right, 13 Entertainment. Good deal. All right, let's go ahead and get the show started. Good morning, Black World, and welcome to Talking Money in the Morning Live with your main man, H. Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the Black community, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, coming to you live and direct from the Black Wealth Movement Studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. Guys, if you want to build a legacy for your family, if you want to build wealth, then you need to consider partnering up with the Black Wealth Movement. $35 per month will get you access to a financial success membership that will help you start your own business, minimize your taxes, eliminate debt, fix your credit, and learn some investing perspective and terminology so you can start growing your wealth. All you have to do is go to moreinfo.joincorteznow.com. There's no commitment for just going to that site. You will see all of the information, a couple videos explaining what it is that we do, how we do it. Could change your life, man. If you're serious about building a legacy and you're not going to let your ego get in the way, and you can admit that I've been trying to do this on my own and it hasn't worked out too well for me, right? See, I'm being mentored by some multi-millionaires, guys with crazy, stupid money. And I don't have to share what they're teaching me to other people, but I choose to because I believe in the law of reciprocity. So if you're serious about building wealth, right? And I don't have no time for games. So if you're not serious, don't go to this site or don't contact me, right? Because what does my shirt say? You can't see it all the way, but it says build with me or else. And some people want to say, or else what? Or else get out of my way. Get out of my life. I ain't got time for you if you not building, right? Build with me or else. Get away from around me, as they would say down south. So more info, joincorteznow.com to learn a little bit more about the Black Wealth Movement and see if it's a good fit for you. See if what we teach and that principles and the things that we stand for and what we stand on aligns with who you are, what you stand on, and the principles that you have for creating a legacy for yourself. If not, no big deal, but by all means, find somebody, some program, something that's going to help you create a legacy for you and your family. Today's show is 7 things you need to know about criticism. I am whatever you say I am. Because if I wasn't, then why would you say I am? I don't know, man. That's just the way I am, right? Little Eminem for you guys this morning. So do me a huge favor. If you're checking this out on YouTube, go ahead and hit subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to the channel. Today's show is going to be amazing. And then later when the show is off, make sure you copy the link, share it on your favorite social media timeline, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever you like to share things, man. Get this information in front of some people. You might know some people who are dealing with criticism today. And just share this information. We might be able to provide some more insight for them that could help them along the way. And then the same thing with you guys on YouTube, Facebook. Go ahead and hit the share button for me really quickly. Just share it out to your page, your followings. If you guys have groups that you guys monitor or you moderate or administer, go ahead and copy the link and go ahead and share it in those groups, because this is one thing that's holding a lot of people back is fear of criticism. And we're going to talk about some ways to overcome and deal with criticism. And once you realize what criticism really is, where it really stems from, you can move forward in your life. Today's show is also sponsored by Monetize My Life Academy. Monetize My Life Academy is a membership site that is designed to give you the tools that you need to turn your passions and know-how into profits. Turn your passion and know-how into profits, right? We're all experts at something. Problem is, we don't know how to package and present what we know to the marketplace to earn income. And Monetize My Life Academy will teach you exactly how to do that. What's up, Kurt? So all you have to do is, and matter of fact, I'm giving an 80% discount to that site. It's normally $97 per month, but for the next couple weeks, you can get in for just $20 a month. Simply go to monetizemylifeacademy.com. monetizemylifeacademy.com. Put in coupon code 80% off. So that's 80, the percent sign, capital O, capital F, capital F. monetizemylifeacademy.com. You'll see a red button that says become a member today. And then once you click on it, don't be surprised. It is going to say $97 per month. But then when you put in coupon code 80% off, 80% sign, capital O, capital F, capital F, you will it will reduce it down to $20 for you so that you can get in. I just want to help you build your brand. I want to help you be better. I'm on my way to being a billionaire, right? And there's certain people that I want to be able to travel the world with me, right? Tawana gives a testimony, and there's nothing better than an unsolicited testimony. She said, I'm amazed at what I've learned so far, right? Just because she's a member and she just kind of hangs out in there and just kind of goes in there and just learns what she needs to do to get her brand out in front of more and more people. So on my way to being a billionaire, I want all the people who are rocking with me right now to be there with me. Right? So I want to be able to call Tawana up and say, let's do lunch. What are we doing lunch at? I don't know. I got a taste for some Italian. So how's Italy sound? And she's got the money and the resources. I got the money and the resources. Let's meet in Italy in 3 hours and have lunch. Right? See, some people don't can't dream like that, don't have that kind of vision. There are people who are doing that. And Monetize My Life Academy wants to help you build and explode your brand to get you to that level. Now, let's get on with today's show, man, because I got some exciting stuff for you. So we're talking about 7 things that you need to know about criticism, right? And if you understand criticism, what it is at its core and where it's coming from, then I believe it will have a little bit less effect on you. That's just what I believe, right? So the first thing that you need to know about criticism is we are all being criticized 24/7, and we are all being critical of others 24/7. It's just a fact of nature. It just comes with being human. It just comes with the territory. It's just, we're always being criticized, and we are always being critical of others, right? I just want you to think about this. This show right now, somebody is looking at this show saying, hey, what is that background? He looks funny. He's got a bald head. He's got somebody. We're all being critical all the time. It's just part of being human, right? So when you realize that, when somebody is criticizing you, remember they are just being fully human, and it's okay, right? It's okay, because remember, a lot of people like to quote the scripture. Bible says, "Don't judge." It's not what it says. It's not what it says. It says, "Be careful," and this is me paraphrasing. Be careful how you judge, because the same measure with which you judge others, you will then be judged. So it doesn't say don't judge. It says be careful about how you judge, because how you judge will determine how others judge you. Again, law of reciprocity, karma, sowing or reaping. What you do to others will be done unto you. It doesn't say don't judge, because you cannot help but judge. It's human nature. But it does give you an outline on how to properly judge, or how to judge so that you making sure that when others judge you. So if you judge others with fairness, you give people the benefit of the doubt, then people will judge you with fairness. People will give you the benefit of the doubt. Doesn't say don't judge. We all judge. Everywhere we go, everything we see, we have to assess it, and we have to judge it. Everything that we see, every place that we go, we have to make an assessment, and we have to judge whether it's safe, whether it is going to benefit us, whether it's going to harm us. So that's just human nature, right? Be careful how you judge is the key, because the measure by which you judge is how others are going to judge you. If you judge with malice, if you maliciousness, if you judge unfairly, guess what? You're going to be judged unfairly. It's just how it works, man. The law of reciprocity, the law of sowing and reaping. Some people call it karma. It is very, very real. That's number one. We are all criticized, and we all criticize others. That's just human nature. Number two, this is important, y'all. And this is why when that guy was jumping in the stream last week, and that kind of stuff doesn't bother me, because I know that elevation equals more critics. Elevation. The more you elevate and stick your head above the crowd, the moment you go from average to a little bit above average, that simply means that now that I'm above average, everybody can see me. When I was average, I just blended in. So the moment you begin to elevate, then expect the criticism to come. Why do more critics elevate famous people and celebrities? Because they've elevated to a place where everybody can see them. If they were blending in with normal society, they wouldn't have the level of criticism. So if your plan is to elevate and to grow and go to another level, go from glory to glory, then understand that from every level that you elevate to, it's going to equal criticism. It's not a matter of if somebody is going to criticize you. I get that stuff all the time, man, but I know where criticism comes from, and I'm going to share that with you today. So you don't get a response from me a lot of times when you criticize me. Because I understand where criticizing comes from, where critics come from, where that whole spirit comes from. So I want to help you with that today. So because everybody watching this stream right now is in elevation mode. And I love it. But one thing that can stop your elevation quicker than anything else, is when you fall into a place where you start paying too much attention to what the critics are saying. But when you know that, hey, the more I elevate, the more I'm going to get criticized, then you anticipate that, you're expecting that. In fact, you start using that as a measure of your level of elevation, then you are good. I promise you guys, the more you grow, the more you go against the grain. See, for me, I've been that dude all my life, where you could look at my face and you could see that I'm here, but I'm not here. See, I've always known how to live in the future and the present at the same time. And imagine a teenager with just his entire life with this glossy look over his face all the time, this stare into the distance all the time. I was that guy who was considered, man, that dude just flat out weird. Right? For those who didn't know me, I was the weird guy. I was the guy who's always going against the grain, always saying something off the wall, always doing something. What a lot of times they call it being ahead of your time, right? Because a lot of the things that I was doing, the things that I was foreseeing, those things are manifesting today. And people judge me and said, man, dude, weird as heck, man. And I got used to dealing with criticism at a very young age and realized that, hey, man, it is what it is. I don't know why I'm this way. I'm just going to stick with what works for me. And if it don't work for you, I don't mind going against the grain. I don't mind sticking my head above the crowd. I don't mind being the first. I don't mind being a leader. What do they say about the leaders? The leaders are the ones going to take the first shots. How you judge a leader, right? So understand that your elevation equals more critics. Every time you step from one level to the next, you're going to get more and more people criticizing what you do. And that's quite all right. Number 3. Critics and criticisms are just like a particular part of the anatomy. They're just like opinions, and like a particular part of your anatomy, everybody's got one, and most of them stick. And they all stick, right? Just understand that a criticism is just an opinion, y'all. It's just an opinion. It is just an opinion. So I started the title of the show and I started talking about I am whatever you say I am. Because if I wasn't, then why would you say I am? Right? It's just an opinion, y'all. And some of us are blocking our very own blessings because we're scared to move forward in our lives for fear of how we're going to be judged. And I said before, and I'm going to say it again, if you, my friend, judge people with fairness, then you have nothing to fear when it comes to stepping out on faith and doing your thing. Because if you judge people with fairness, when you step out and you go against the grain, you do your thing, then people who do judge you will judge you with fairness, and I think you could live with that. But if you're the type of person that loves tearing people down, if you're the type of person that really judges people really harshly, then you can expect the moment you start to elevate a little bit, then that's how you're going to be judged, right? So today's quote of the day is, oh man, I forgot to write down brother's name. It's easy to attack and destroy an act of creation. It's a lot more difficult to perform one. I love that. It's easy to attack and destroy an act of creation. It's a lot more difficult to perform one. See, people will criticize my show and say, man, that you need to do this. You could do this a little better. Or you could do that, man. You need to do this as your topic. All you do is talk about money. It's easy to criticize. This is my act of creation. It's easy to criticize an act of creation. It's a lot more difficult to perform one. So you got to remember, what did Martin Lawrence say? What did Martin Lawrence say? He said a critic is somebody who can't do what you can do, but going to sit on the sidelines and talk about how you could do it better. How can you not do what I can do, but at the same time you want to try to tell me how to do it better? What's up, JP? So it's easy to attack and destroy an act of creation. It's a lot more difficult to perform one. Today's daily proverb does not have a sponsor. That could be you. If you want to help a brother out and sponsor some segments of the show, then all you got to do is inbox me and my wife will get back to you with our sponsorship packages and our different schedules. But this could be you. Basically, you could sponsor this segment of the show and get your name shouted out in front of tens of thousands. And I will help you build your brand through the show, through my website, through the podcast, and all of that good stuff. So if you're looking for an inexpensive way to advertise, then you can market on this show. The daily streams reaches anywhere between 2,500 and 5,000 live viewers every day, with a potential reach of 60,000 fans on Facebook, another 2,000 or 3,000 fans on YouTube, Instagram, and my blog reaches another 5,000. So if you're looking for an inexpensive way to brand your business, then you should consider sponsoring the daily quote of the day. So real quick recap. Number one, we all criticize, y'all. We all do it. So don't be surprised when it's done to you, right? That's number one. We're all criticized or judged. It's just part of being human. Number two, elevation equals more critics. Don't want no more critics? You can't handle the critics that you got? Then you might want to stay where you are. You might want to stop trying to go to the next level, because if you can't deal with the critics that you got, the ones waiting for you at the next level, yeah, you might not. You probably don't. You ain't ready. You might just want to stop doing what you're doing right now and just hover where you are until you develop a little bit thicker skin to handle the arrows that are going to come at you at the next level. Because when you're barely doing a little something, yeah, they hitting you with some arrows, they hitting you with some pebbles, and they're doing some things, man. But every time you elevate, then the weaponry gets a little bit more sophisticated, right? So they go from pebbles and stones to bricks and arrows, right? And then you elevate a little bit more, they go from bricks and arrows to boulders and poison tipped darts, right? And then eventually they go to bullets and missiles and rockets and nuclear. I mean, people really start trying to destroy you. But now that you know, you guys are ready for it, right? You guys are ready for it. And then you got to remember, criticism are just people's opinions. That's all they are. They're people's opinions. Everybody's got one, right? And there's nothing you could do about it. Everybody's got one, and there is absolutely nothing you can do about it. So just understand that. Understand that. Number four, Know this about criticism, that people doing big things don't criticize other people because they don't have time to. Know this about criticism. People who are doing big things don't have time to criticize other people. So what does that mean in layman's terms? That means the people who are criticizing you must be doing small things. Because if you got time to criticize me all day, brother stood on my stream for the whole hour and criticized. And he talked about being this big millionaire or knowing the secrets of being a millionaire and all that kind of stuff. I find it hard to believe, because I'm not a millionaire, and the little money that I do make, I work hard to make it, and the last thing I do is have time to take a whole hour to criticize somebody else. So just know this about criticism. People who are doing big things don't criticize. So if you are being criticized, then the chances are it's coming from somebody who's not doing anything. And if you know that about criticism and those who are doing the criticizing, you know that they must be doing small things, then why the heck does their opinion, which again, a criticism is just an opinion, why does their opinion matter so much? Come on, y'all, we got to get this. Some of us are being held down by somebody all the way across town, somebody all the way in another state, somebody all the way in another country, because they said their opinion, they voiced their opinion about you. And because of that, or because of your fear that they might voice an opinion, you're scared to take the first step towards your greatness. Because of your fear that someone might criticize, you have not taken one single step towards your own destiny. Criticisms are just opinions, right? They say about small people, talk about people, right? Big people talk about big dreams, visions. So if you're being criticized, just know, especially if you have those critics that just over and over criticize, that's further evidence that they're small thinking people. They're doing small things, because how do they have so much time to criticize you 24/7? Pay them no mind, man. Pay them no mind. Number 5. Perception is reality. Your perception is your reality. So guess what? Your critics' perception of you is their reality. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to run that back. Your perception, how you perceive the world, is your reality. Therefore, your critics' perception, how they perceive the world, is their reality. And it ain't nothing you can do about it. If somebody thinks I'm a jerk, that is their perception of me, which makes it their reality. And because that's their reality, there is nothing I can do about that. In their real world, I am 100% jerk. That's why I love that Eminem line. I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, Why would you say I am? If I wasn't a jerk, they would never have said I'm a jerk. But because the way they perceive me, which has more to do with them than it has to do with me, they perceive me to be a jerk. So whatever, if they say I'm a jerk, in their reality, I am a jerk, and there is nothing I can do to change that. Only they can change their reality. So why do I get offended and get pissed off about somebody else's reality? I don't live in their world. I can't let their perception, their reality change my perception, my reality, my world. And that's what a lot of people are doing. See, in your world, I'm a jerk. In my world, I'm a God. I can't become a jerk because in your world, I'm a jerk. In my world, I just have to keep being a God, keep being a king, keep being a leader, keep being what I believe. See, this is part one, guys, of a two-part series. See, today we're talking about I am whatever you say I am. Tomorrow we're going to talk about I am whatever I say I am. Y'all better be ready. Y'all better be ready. So when you understand that perception is reality, however someone perceives you, that is real to them. And there is nothing that I can do to change that. I just have to keep living my reality. And maybe they grow, maybe they get a different perspective on life, and that changes that for them. But I can't be concerned about that. I can't let someone else's reality or someone else's perception, I can't let them superimpose that perception onto me. I can't take that on as my reality. We will let other people tell us what we can't do because they can't do something. Because they can't see the vision and the place that God is taking us to, they can't see it. So they're telling us that it can't be done. It can be done. How do I know it can be done? Because I've seen it already. I've seen myself doing it. So I know it can be done. But we will let somebody else superimpose their limitations on us based on their reality. You ain't been through what I've been through. So you seeing the world the way you see it is completely different from the way I see the world. And I don't see can't in my world. I don't see impossible in my world. Maybe that's all you see in your world. And if everything you attempted to do, you failed, then all you see is impossibilities. Everything I've attempted to do, I've succeeded at it. So all I see is limitless opportunity. So I will not let you superimpose your limitations on me because of what your reality is. My reality is I can do all things. That's my reality. It's number 5. Number 6. This is important, man. This is why you can't give them you can't really give them too much attention, right? Because every moment you spend focusing on your critics, it's time taken away from drawing your focus away from your vision, your goal, and the things that you're trying to create. Every moment that you spend focusing on your critics, it's time you take away from focusing on the prize, your vision, your goal, your dreams, your mission. Right? And that's usually the goal of those who are doing the criticism. Every minute. I don't have more than a couple seconds, and I'm going to show you why I have a couple seconds for my critics, but I don't have more than a couple seconds for my critics because I got to get back to building. See, every time I take my eyes off of building and take my mind on critics, then I just stop the whole process of building. I stopped my progress. What's up, AB? I stopped my progress because I took time away from doing something that's going to add to or enhance my growth, that's going to elevate me to the next level. I took time away from those activities to focus on somebody who is a small thinker, to focus on somebody or something that is not doing big things. Because again, if you're criticizing others, how in the heck do you have time to do that if you're building? So why would I stop building to turn my attention onto somebody who's not building and get into an argument about why you think I'm a jerk? See, some of us used to do that, but now that you know that their perception is their reality, you're not going to spend time arguing with somebody who thinks you're a jerk. Because you know now that you can't change that. That is real in their world. I'm a jerk. And when they say, hey man, you're a jerk, okay. And I keep focusing and keep moving and keep elevating. That's all I can say, because if you think I'm a jerk, that is real in your world. All I can say is okay and keep moving. But some of y'all, somebody says you're a jerk. They say you can't do this. They say they don't like the way you did this. And then you stop what you're doing and try to justify to them why you're not a jerk. You think I'm a jerk to you. I am. I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would you say I am? Right? That's just, you got to get this, y'all. Some of us are being placed in a box by people who can give two, man, I almost said the wrong thing. We're placed in a box by people who don't give two rabbit's foots about us. What they say, what we think they're going to say has got us paralyzed. And we're scared to create. We're scared to let our light shine because we think that because our light shines, somebody's going to say it's too bright. Somebody's going to say it's not bright enough. Somebody's not going to like the color of our light. And so we put our talents under a bush because we don't want to be criticized. Man, get over yourself. Number, where we at? That was number 6. All right, I'm going to save number 7 for after the book excerpt. Let me do the book excerpt of the day real quick, and then we're going to save number 7, and then I got a bonus number 8, and then I'm going to tell you one of the things that you can do to really benefit from criticism. So today's book excerpt comes from the Black Billionaires Club. Now I want you guys to get something about persistence and perseverance. And I believe this is one of the things that led this brother to being a billionaire. I think he's worth about 2.5 billion. And today's billionaire, we're studying Robert Smith. Robert Smith. But it says in high school, he persuaded Bell Labs to give him an internship that's typically only available to college upperclassmen. Wait a minute. You're talking about a kid in high school who had such a big vision. He went after an internship that was reserved for not college freshmen, not college sophomores, but college upperclassmen, and he ain't even graduated high school yet. How did he persuade them? By calling them weekly for 5 months. Wait a minute. You are already going after something that's supposedly not meant for you, because this is meant for college upperclassmen. You not only have the heart to dream this big dream, then you go after it with a persistence not known by many. He called them every week for 5 months. That internship helped him get into Cornell University, where he got an engineering degree, and then went back out an MBA in finance and marketing from Columbia. So in 1994, he joined Goldman Sachs in the tech investment banking, first in New York, then in Silicon Valley. As co-head of enterprise systems and storage, he executed and advised on over $50 billion in mergers and acquisitions for companies such as Apple, Microsoft, Texas Instruments, eBay, and Yahoo. You think the persistence that he demonstrated when he was a high school kid helped him along his journey to becoming a billionaire? See, I love to study people who are where I'm going. I will tell you right now, in high school, I had a problem with rejection. I would have called them people one time and they'd have said, nah, man, this is reserved for college upperclassmen. I would have said, okay, and it would have been done. He called them every week for 5 months straight till he got what he wanted. Right? So again, today's daily book excerpts brought to you by the Black Billionaires Club. Go to theblackbillionairesclub.com. My man Evan Jefferson is the author. Evan Jefferson Fixes Broke. If you got a problem with being broke and you want to fix it, go to ergj.net. And you can partner with Evan. He does retirement reviews, founder of Club Millie, also the Black Bazaar on Facebook. Brother is just doing some amazing things. So keep in mind, if you want to sponsor portions of this show, all you got to do is inbox me, and my wife will get you some information on what it costs to sponsor a segment of the show. And I would love to have you. Your support is amazing, and it helps me continue to do what it is that I do at a high level. So I would appreciate any support. The Black Billionaires Club is the book. And the website that you can go grab your copy is the blackbillionairesclub.com. All right, so we were on number 7, right? Because number 6 was every moment you focus on criticism, you take your eye off the prize. Every moment you're focusing on criticism, you're taking your eye off the prize. Number 7, criticism is actually a compliment. Criticism, for the most part, can be perceived as a compliment. Why? Because nobody criticizes you unless you're doing big things. Nobody criticizes you until you start raising yourself above average. As long as you're hanging down here with me, we cool. The minute you start elevating and you start rising head and shoulders above me, now I got to find something wrong with you. So Mojo said it best when the guy was on the stream, going through his rants and everything. You say, when you have a troll on your stream like that, that means you must be doing something right. You must be doing something right. So you can see criticism as a compliment, as a barometer to measure that you're on an upward trajectory. And I'm going to say this, and I hope you guys don't take it the wrong way, but when you are in a position where everybody agrees with you, chances are you either flatlined or you're going backwards. If everybody is agreeing with everything you said and nobody has any objections or issues with anything you're doing, you've either flatlined or you're going backwards. Because when you start sliding back down the hill and you're coming back to me, I don't have anything else to say to you as a critic. Because you're back on my level. So just understand, if nobody is criticizing, then you better start doing a little bit more than what you're doing. If nobody's criticizing, you better start doing a little bit more than what you're doing. Right? Number 7. This is critical to understand. No, that was number 7. Number 8. This is the bonus, because I said 7 in the title, but this is the bonus. All criticism stems from fear. Criticism stems from fear, right? When somebody is criticizing you, it's usually because you've poked your head above theirs and they are now in fear, or they are now feel threatened by your new accomplishments. They feel threatened by that ascension. And the first thing that comes to their mind is, I've got to say something or do something that's going to bring this person back down. Your critics are usually 98% of the time operating from a place of fear. When you start ascending, start accomplishing your goals, you start fulfilling the things that you said you would fulfill, it sheds a light on their lack of ambition. Because if you and I are at the same level, and you and I are shooting the breeze all the time, and we're talking about how great that we're going to be, and I actually start putting some things in motion to where I start to become great, now there is a light being shown on either the fact that I was better than you all along, or the lack of ambition that you have. One of the two. Either one doesn't feel good to the critic. So he's ascending, doing the things that he said he was going to do. He's doing the things that we both said we were going to do. Now I'm afraid that he's going to leave me behind. I'm afraid he's going to start getting some awards and recognition. I'm afraid that he's going to start getting attention. I'm afraid that when he goes to another level, then it's going to make people look at me a certain type of way. Because when people look at me coming from Wellston, a small community in St. Louis County where there's just poverty everywhere, and they see me climbing out of that, the people who are still in there are saying, wait a minute, if he's able to do that and he becomes a billionaire, then people around us might look back at us and say, you have no excuse. If Cortez can come out of the same condition that you came out of and make it, what's your excuse? Right? What's your excuse? See, we have, and let me give my guys a shout out, man. We have 2 NBA players that came from our community, right? Ben McLemore is playing with the Memphis Grizzlies, and Patrick McCaw just won a championship with the Golden State Warriors as a rookie, right? And he played significant minutes. He played in those championship series, and he actually brought the championship trophy, the Larry O'Brien trophy, back to the community so everybody can see it, take pictures with it, and everybody thought that was a cool deal. And you know how you have those people who live in their past, right? There's some people who live in their past. It's like, man, you remember that game I scored that winning bucket, or that winning touchdown, or I caught that pass, or that winning interception, and this was like 20 years ago, and that's all they talk about every time you see them. Every single time you see them, that's going to come up in conversation. People live in their past, right? There was a gentleman, a young man, talking about what they did. Our school won a state title in 2005 or something like that, 2006, 2000. It might have been more recent than that, right before they shut our whole district down. But this gentleman was talking about winning a state championship, right? And how great he was, but he's kind of hanging around doing a whole bunch of nothing but talking about that state championship. And he let it come out of his mouth that how that's the barometer of success. If you didn't win a state championship in high school, then you were not great. Now, he's saying this, and Patrick McCaw's dad is hosting the event that he's there talking this stuff. Now, Patrick McCaw had never won state title in high school. Ben McLemore didn't win the state title in high school. He took a team to state, but they didn't win. But both of these guys are in the NBA making millions of dollars from their talent, and he's sitting back criticizing them for not winning a state title, doing nothing. But they are both in the NBA. Patrick McCall didn't win a state title, but he got an NBA championship on his under his belt. And you got the nerve to criticize someone for not winning a state title, and they won the highest championship that could be won on any level. Some would argue that an NBA championship is more important than an Olympic gold medal in terms of basketball. Right? Just goes to show you, man, that criticism usually comes from small people doing small things. And the bigger things you start to do, the more you elevate, the more you're going to get criticized. So be prepared. Be prepared. Right? So here's one thing that you can do. One good thing that can come out of criticism. Because while all criticism comes from fear, most of the time it is rooted in truth. Now, while the genesis is beginning, its root is in fear, a lot of times there is truth in the criticism. So when I say I got a couple seconds for criticism only, here's a couple seconds of criticism that I have. Out of what you said about me or what you don't like about what I'm doing, is there anything that I can take out of that to improve? See, this is where haters and those critics and those who criticize are actually causing their own demise without realizing it. Because I'm going to take what you said and I'm going to analyze it quickly, and I'm going to say, is there anything that I can pull out of there to make me even better, to make me ascend, to go to the next level even faster? So thanks, critic. Because you just helped me give you something else to criticize about, because I took what you criticized me on, I tweaked it and made it better. Now I'm ascending at a more rapid pace. So now you're going to have 10, 12, 15 more thousand things to criticize me on in 2018 because of the way you criticized me in 2017. You guys get that? You follow where I'm going with that? So there is some measure of truth in almost every criticism. So while I don't spend hours focusing on the criticism, they do hit my radar. And I said, wait a minute, this person said this about the show. So this is probably a person who's not doing big things themselves. So every time they see somebody doing big things, they have something negative to say. But that which they said, oh, that piece right there is true. Let me take that, tweak what I'm doing, make it even better. So now the show grows 10 times fast. So next year, they're really going to have something to talk about. And they help get me there. So instead of complaining about the criticism, instead of focusing on what we try to do, is we say, man, you just hating. And then we instantly start hating right back. And now you're both in this downward spiral of hate against each other. And they done tricked you to becoming small like them. They're doing small things. That's why they have time to criticize you in the first place. You don't have time to criticize, but you took your eye off the prize for a second and you looked at that critique, and instead of extracting a little bit of truth out of it and using it and leveraging it to become better, you start going tit for tat. Now you spent a whole day arguing with somebody who thinks you're a jerk. And at the end of the day, that person still thinks you're a jerk, and you wasted a day that you could have used building, trying to convince somebody that you're not a jerk. in his perception, her perception is her reality, is his reality. So when you finish with all of that arguing, all of that tit for tat, all of that back and forth, and you got into this downward spiral of negativity with that person who was criticizing you because they're just a small person to begin with, they're doing small things. Yeah, you wasted a whole day, and at the end of that day that you wasted, they still think you're a jerk. And I could have told you that was going to be the outcome at the very beginning, because you can't change their perception. Only they can do that. Nothing I could say can change somebody else's perception of me. They either grow a little bit, they grow up mentally, they get stretched, and they start seeing me in a different light. But nothing I can say or do changes, because I'm doing the same thing I do all the time anyway. They have to have changing perceptions is an internal job. It's an inside job. So I'd be damned if I give up a whole day, a whole minute, trying to convince somebody that I am not a jerk. Right? So if you guys go back to that stream, you'll see that I had a dialogue with a young man. He said, there's only 140 people on your stream, 120 people, so who's watching? And I said, you got to start somewhere. And his response was, well, you don't start with telling a lie about being a millionaire and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, wow, I never said I was a millionaire. And this comment was about starting somewhere with a small viewership. But again, that's somebody who wanted to extract. But you know what I took out of that? I took out of making sure that I properly position myself on the show so that it doesn't come off as I'm trying to be or pretend or lead people on to believe that I'm a millionaire. And now it's just going to make it greater when I do finally hit 7 figures, when I do finally get my $2,739.72 in revenue per day, right? And I go back to him in that stream and I replay it, rebroadcast it. See, you got to know how to use the little bit of truth in a critic and say, okay, maybe there was something that I did, that I said, that made him think that I was trying to portray myself as a millionaire, right? If there's anything I can pull out of that can help me elevate even faster, then I'm going to analyze it really quickly. I'm not going to spend hours on it analyzing. I'm going to analyze it really quickly, and then I'm going to move on. And I'm going to keep it moving, man. Haters, having anger towards everyone reaching success, from Cedric GMT Williams. Yeah, that's good stuff. Having anger towards everyone reaching success, right? So that's what it is, man. So again, today's show is brought to you by Monetize My Life Academy. If you are serious about your brand and you want to join a community of people who are, I have an ebook library that's probably worth several $100s per month to access, right? But you get access to that $20 per month. I do weekly live streams every week called Sunday Night Live, and I teach branding and marketing live Q&A every week. I don't know what that's worth, right? Last night I had on an Instagram expert who came in and taught how to do Instagram properly. And you guys think I did something with just Facebook and YouTube? Wait till you see what happens when I add Instagram to the mix. I'm about, the brand is about to 10x. I'm about to 10x the brand because of what I learned last night. And people who are in Monetize My Life Academy, they got that for free. Right? And then they get the replay lives in the membership site, so they get to continue to watch and learn and grow from that. So it's bananas, man. $20 a month. All you got to do is go to monetizemylifeacademy.com, click on the red button that says become a member today, enter coupon code 80% off. That's 80, the percent sign, capital O, capital F, capital F. 80% off. And then you'll see that the regular price for Monetize My Life Academy is $97, but you get it for $20 per month. Right now, you can lock in that spot and you lock it in forever, right? The only time it changes is if you cancel and you try to come back and the price is doubled, because The price is doubling again. You guys know that we started at $5, it doubled to 10, then it doubled to 20. Well, it's doubling again in another week or so. So get a chance to lock in your spot at $20 per month. But yeah, I think most people, Carvel is in the academy, Tawana's in the academy. I think they will both agree that it's worth the $97 a month that it will ultimately land on, because what we teach in there is how to build your brand very, very, very well from all different aspects. Everything that you need to as a solopreneur to take your brand and your business to a next level is in there. Email marketing, Facebook marketing, Twitter marketing, Instagram marketing, how to write emails, copywriting, how to create ebooks, how to create and launch products. I mean, it's just SEO. It's amazing, all of the content that's in there, and all you got to do is plug in for $20 a month. Show is also brought to you by the Black Wealth Movement. You guys know if you want to build wealth with us, all you got to do is go to moreinfo.joincorteznow.com. Really quickly, recap all 7 things, all 8 things you need to know about criticism. Number 1, everybody's a critic. We all criticize. We all do it. It's just part of being human. Number 2, elevation equals more critics. And if you're trying to go to a next level, just know that critics are going to be there waiting for you too. See, sometimes we try to elevate to get away from the critics that we have. No, there's critics waiting on every level. So just know that. Number 3, they are just opinions. Criticisms are just opinions, y'all. They're just opinions. And like a certain part of the anatomy, everybody's got one, right? Number 4, people who are doing big things don't have time to criticize. So remember where your criticism is coming from. People who are doing big things don't have time to criticize. So that means those who do have time to criticize are probably doing little things or not doing anything at all. Number 5, perception is reality. So how somebody perceives you is their reality. There's nothing you can do to change that. So stop trying to fight every little body that says something about you or your brand or what you're not doing, what you could be doing better. That's their reality, and you can't change that, right? Number 6, every moment you spend focusing on a criticism is a moment that you're taking your eyes off building. You're taking your eyes off your prize. You're taking your eyes off your mission. Right? So don't spend more than a couple seconds on your criticism. Number 7, criticism is actually a compliment, right? Because you don't get criticized until you start doing major things, right? Number 8, critics and criticisms are coming from a place of fear. It's not until you become a threat that people really start trying to bring you down, start trying to tear you down. And usually you're a threat because from the people in your own circle. You start elevating above those people in your circle, and they start talking about you too good. They start talking about you think you're better than everybody else. Yeah, I do, man. And I'm trying to get out of this mess that I am in. And if y'all not trying to come with me, I'm going to leave y'all butts right where y'all at, and I'm not going to feel no type of way about it. I got things to do. I've got a 1,000-year mission that I got to lay the foundation for right now so I can leave a legacy for my children. You about that life? No, I didn't think so. I'm going to keep it moving, and I'm not going to feel remorse about it. I'm not going to let you guilt me into staying below my potential. That's what a lot of people are trying to do. They're trying to guilt you into staying below your potential. Not happening with me, right? What does my shirt say? Build with me or else. Either we building or we not at all. Either you and I are building or there is no you and I. I only run with people who are building with me. And I'm not going to feel bad for those who get left behind, because at any time they want to get back in my circle, all they have to do is start building with me. That's it. And then last, we talked about learning how to take a little bit of truth. A lot of criticism, there is a little bit of truth. There's a little grain of truth in that criticism. Evaluate it, search out that little grain of truth, then leverage it to make you better. Leverage that little grain of truth that is in most criticisms, leverage it to make you better. And give the hater something more to hate you on in the months and years to come. So I'm H. Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the Black community, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur. Tomorrow is part 2. Today we talked about I am whatever you say I am. Tomorrow is about I am whatever I say I am. You don't want to miss it. So be sure to come back tomorrow. Until I talk to you guys then, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve it. Peace out, y'all.